Well, hello, welcome back to another video. Before I start, just look at this. We've been blessed with some really awesome weather recently in the UK, which makes a change. But we're not here to talk about the weather, as delightful as it is. We're here to talk about my new bike, which is a BMW F800ST, an actual ST. Let me spin the camera around, then I'll just do my little piece to camera and explain why I'm doing a video about this bike. Hello, that's better. That's me now, looking at the trying to look at the camera with the sun directly in my eyes. Yes, so if you have been looking at my videos in the recent past or whenever, you may have seen a video on my channel about a similar bike to this, which was a BMW F800S. It's a red one, red and black one, which the previous owner had put some ST fairings on. And I didn't know the difference back then. I didn't know the difference between an S and an ST. I was quite new to the whole BMW biking world. And so I was a bit bamboozled by all that. Anyway, it turned out to be an F800S. And it was a great bike. I owned it for only about 6 months because it was stolen. It was stolen in around August last year. And after the bike was stolen, I decided that I wanted to get another one of these S or STs just because I had such a great experience with it. And it did everything I needed. It was great for the weekends. It was great as a commuter, and just did everything effortlessly, really. So I ended up getting another one, as you can see, which is an actual ST this time, not an S with ST fairings on it. It's an actual bona fide BMW F800 ST. I'm sure you don't want to just look at my face as I squint in the sun here for the rest of this video. So I am going to put it onto the other camera mode, and we can have a quick look at the bike. And I'll tell you an interesting story about this bike. Well, it's not actually that interesting, but it's interesting to me. Maybe you'll get some enjoyment from it. Anyway, right, enough from my face. Let's have a look. Okay, here is the bike in the glorious April sunshine. And yes, as you can see, it's a standard F800 ST in the sort of metallic, almost gunmetal grey, which a lot of them come in. I know you can get blue and white and some later colours, but the earlier ones generally come in this colour. And it's fine. This is a 2007 model. And I said there was an interesting story about this bike. It's not really that interesting. Basically, the guy who I bought it from he was only the second owner, I believe, and he bought it in about 2012. Didn't do many miles on it because he moved to London and didn't want to take it to London with him because he thought it might get nicked, which it probably would. And yeah, so he kept it in a barn at his mum's farm in Somerset. And it was for that reason that he was selling it, because he didn't want to just let it rot. When I bought it, all of these bolts here on the fairing, everywhere you could think, there was surface rust on the header pipes, on the exhaust. The fork seals were shot. Fork seals down there, obviously. So yeah, it was the tires were basically flat. Mechanically it was sound, but cosmetically it needed quite a bit of work doing to it to get it back up to scratch, which is what I've spent the last, how long have I owned this for now? 9 months or so. Just doing little jobs on it and getting it back up to spec. I'll just move around the front so you can see the actual entire bike rather than just one side of it. So yeah, I mean, why did I buy another ST? Well, why did I buy an ST? Like I said, my last one was an S. Basically the same bike, to be fair. Well, reliability, fun. It just does everything. It's the ultimate everything bike, and you can pick these up now for next to nothing. You know, this cost me £2,000. And yeah, I have spent quite a bit of money on it doing little jobs that need doing when you basically recommission a bike that's not been used for months, maybe years at a time. Mainly not just because of the cosmetics, but also for the safety side of things as well. So let me just talk a little bit about the things I've done to this bike while it's been in my custody, shall we say. I've been the custodian of it. The first thing you can probably tell is that I've changed this windscreen. The standard windscreen is clear, and this is an aftermarket one, which is not perfect. There's a couple of things that are different about this. For example, the indentations around the screws, there are none, so you just get these sort of sticking out. But it's fine, and I think it looks quite good with the smoky coloured windscreen on there. Naturally, as I always do, I pick one of these up just to be a true BMW wanker, you know, not quite a GS wanker, but still a BMW wanker. What else have I done? I have done the usual servicing stuff, so I've given it an oil change. In fact, it's had 2 oil changes while I've had this bike. And filters, it's had air filters, or an air filter change, which is under this bit of body panelling. I've had new tyres put on it. So these 2 tyres, these are Michelin Road 6, which I believe are some of the best, sort of, not budget, but better than the cheapest that you can get currently. And yeah, please ignore the chicken strips on my rear tyre. What else have I done? I've had new brake pads, front and back, and new brake fluid, naturally. I've done the coolant, I've refreshed the coolant in the bike. And as I said, the fork seals, when I first bought this bike, this left fork, sorry, the right fork seal was absolutely pissing out fork oil. So that was that needed to be changed fairly urgently. I have spent some time on the cosmetic side of the bike. So what I mean by that is I've got my Autosol out and slathered it all over the header pipes and all over the exhaust end cam, and just giving it a good buff, even all the way under here as well. It's not perfect, but you know, it's a bike from 2007, so it's never going to be perfect. But you know, it looks better than it did, and now I think it looks rather nice. Some of the things that I mentioned in my previous video about the F800S, I've kind of gotten over them a little bit. For example, the way that the indicators are on the corresponding sides of the handlebars. I did bemoan that in my last video, but you know, over time you do get used to it. This is also extremely useful if you want to, you know, put luggage or anything on the back. This, I believe, is really for the you know, top box. You can also get hangers that go down here for the nice body color coded BMW side panniers. Yeah, I mean, this does everything I want. It's a really nice looking bike, I find, or I feel. And it, like I say, I know I'm repeating myself now, it just does everything. You can go for blasts at the weekend. You can use it as a commuter. It just goes and goes. The fuel economy is superb. This one, again, like my last one, sounds a bit agricultural. But I think that's just the way that these Rotax engines are in these bikes. That's just what they sound like. It goes and goes. One other thing that I should probably mention is that because it's a belt drive, that's something you need to keep an eye on. But I'm assured by the previous owner that it was actually changed only a few thousand miles ago. And visually it looks fine. So there's no issues with the belt. I'm just trying to think if there's anything else that I have done to this bike while it's been in my ownership. I think, I mean, it does have a full service history, but it only goes up to a few years ago. And I think the next job that I might do is possibly put a new battery in it. Even though it's working fine at the moment, you just never know when they're going to go. And I think I might get the valves checked, but I'm reliably informed by the BMW F800 Riders Forum, naturally, that the valve clearances on these things very rarely need checking or go out of spec. So I don't know about that yet. When I start hearing weird noises, maybe I'll get that looked at. But for now, it's, yeah, what can I say? BMW F800ST, a superb bike if you're in the market for a do anything, go anywhere, ride to the moon, go to the shops, go to work. Obviously, you know, you probably won't be doing the Isle of Man TT on it, but, you know, it's not really designed for that. And, yeah. Oh, one final thing I just thought I'd mention is these headlights. Not the headlights themselves, they're fine, but it's the little things where you put the bulbs in. These are notoriously hard to get your hands into. So if you blow a bulb, what I did is I just basically took all the fairings off, took the front of the bike off, essentially, took that whole module out and changed the bulb. It's a real faff. You can do it if you get your hands in there and mess about with the little catches which hold the bulbs in, which do snap and are extremely infamous for that on these bikes. But yeah, that's probably the only sort of downside I think that I've encountered so far with this bike. It's the headlight bulb replacement in those little bits under there. So yeah, that's it really. I've also noticed that the mirrors on this one are nowhere near as bad as the one that I had previously. I moaned about that in my last video. But yeah, what can I say? It's a great bike. And I would wholeheartedly recommend one of these if you're looking for a cheap commuter or weekend warrior. Anyway, that's enough from me, and I'll see you on the next one.